What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, the media creation thinks he's a sensation, glorified role player, fake WWE Hall of Famer, needs to be verbally castrated, needs others to put a battery in his back, fake wannabe analyst, thinks he's an intellectual, all up in the videos, dancing, prancing. Draymond Green can't shut the fuck up now. Like I just said, he needs others to put batteries in his back. Where was all this mouth the last few years from Draymond Green when his team won't doing shit? When without the other guys, he was invisible. This is a guy that said on a bad team he could do what Barkley did. He didn't do any of that shit. He was incapable of doing it. When he didn't have those other guys around him, what was happening? The fucking Warriors would lose by 50 points. They would lose by 30 after one on a nationally televised game. He act a fool so he can be ejected from the game, so you can't blame it on him. You blame his teammates. Fucking, what's that boy, man? Pascal, Eric Pascal, who was a fucking rookie, if I'm not mistaken, was playing better than Draymond Green. But people want to convince us that this motherfucker's a Hall of Famer. Like I said before, that Defensive Player of the Year award is not enough, because if that's the case, then Tyson Chandler should be a Hall of Famer. Marc Gasol definitely should be a Hall of Famer. Definitely should be a Hall of Famer compared to this motherfucker. Marcus Camby should be a Hall of Famer. He won a Defensive Player of the Year award. Where his love? He went to a finals too. So, and Tyson Chandler won a ring too. So, where their love at? You trying to tell me that you gonna put this motherfucker in the Hall of Fame, but not Sean Marion? Are we really being in real world here? Because he won championships? Okay, then that's the case. Then let's put Michael Cooper in there. He got a Defensive Player of the Year award. He won 5 rings. Well, see, Michael Cooper, he was a role player, but Draymond is essential to... Shut the fuck up. Just shut all the way fuck up. Sick of you motherfuckers and always trying to move the goalpost and turn the motherfucker and do the tango and turn that bitch this way, turn it back around that way, flip it up. It's fuck y'all. So let me get to the point, man. Draymond Green, of course, said the other day that the 2017 Warriors, it's funny how he says that team, by the way, but the 2017 Warriors would beat the 98 Bulls by 20 points. And my immediate reaction to that is, why is he comparing a super team to the weakest version of the Bulls team? They ain't really much of a boast. Because the main reason why people was talking about that team is because essentially you put Kevin Durant on a 73-win team. So what are you bragging about? You bragging about putting a super team against the worst Bulls team. And by the way, if you're saying that team with KD, Steph Curry, and Clay will win by 20 against the 98 Bulls, then what about the 97 Bulls? By 5? 96 Bulls should win, theoretically. So this motherfucker says, nope, The 96 Bulls, 98 Bulls, I stand up. We'll beat all them motherfuckers. But see, now you just being stupid. Now you just being a hypocrite, Mr. Draymond Green. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you get on all these other people, the so-called old media, for having these hypotheticals. But I guess because you are a basketball genius who we have to respect, because new generations learn from the past. So you can't compare. Okay, if that's the case, you apple fritter head bitch. If that's the case, where are the players with all of these post moves? I mean, where are the players who are learning from the past, like as far as emulating Alice English jump shot or Kobe Bryant's mid-range game? Since everybody always talking about Kobe, I don't see them emulating his mid-range. I don't see them emulating Jordan's mid-range. What about everybody's doing the same thing now. Everybody's right now, for the most part, are heavily influenced by analytics and what the trends are right now. So this shit about, we look at what they did in the past and we add to it. Not really. Certain things, flashy shit that you like gravitate to, yeah, you'll add on to that. But a lot of shit in today's game that was in the game 30 years ago are missing. So get out of here, man. That's bullshit. If that's the case, if each generation is getting better, why is the heavyweight boxing division so fucking horrible? And then, I know this ain't got to do with sports, but why are test scores and grades and the education system is such a disarray? Everything's getting better. So shut the fuck up, Draymond. Just say dumb shit, man. But let me just be real though. First of all, if you're going to take that 2017 team and put it back into the 90s, I saw somebody say KD would drop 40. No, he wouldn't. KD had problems scoring against the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics. Do you know what Michael Jordan and Scottie would do to this motherfucker? Do you know what he would do to them? Look, man, I watched the Bulls. I watched almost every one of their fucking games that I could. We didn't have League Pass back then, but I would say out of all the regular season games, out of 82 of them, I saw 65 of them. But I couldn't catch all their games. I watched enough of them to tell you that whenever the Bulls went against premier perimeter players back then, they usually shut the motherfuckers down. I dare you to go back and look at whoever they played and to see if they scored 40 or more points. The closest to it probably was somebody like Shaq or Olajuwon. Maybe some post players like that. Maybe Karl Malone. But perimeter guys, forget about it. I remember when Glenn Rice scored 56 points against the Magic. We talking about the 95 Magic that went to the finals. On national television, Glenn Rice scored 56 points, which bested Jordan's 55 for the season high. The very next game they played was against Chicago. Do you know Michael held Glenn Rice to, I believe it was 3 of 15 shooting? think he had like 9 points or something. Mitch Richmond, 25 points a game for the Kings. I'm not saying he didn't have some games where he would drop 25, 28, but I saw a lot of games where he shut Mitch Richmond ass down. Sprewell, Drexler, whoever, Michael Finley, all these dudes. Now I know KD would be a different animal because of his size, but KD don't have that mental toughness. If Boston did that to KD, I could, like I said, I can only imagine what this team would do. And especially considering that back then, they could pick you up from half court. And all that shit with Curry and Clay, that shit ain't gonna happen. That shit not gonna happen. Pippen gonna run his ass off that 3-point line. First of all, Pippen probably would guard Durant. Harper would probably guard Curry. Jordan would guard Clay. And Clay ass might not even score. Clay may not score. And Draymond wouldn't even be playing because he wouldn't even have a role in that era. Because there was way too many great power forwards back then. He'd be exposed. He'd be too little. He'd be too little to stop anybody. Come on, man. You talking about an era that had Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, Antoine Walker when he was young, Chris Webber, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Antonio McDyess, Derek Coleman, Rasheed Wallace, Sean Kemp. Come on, man. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. They would destroy this motherfucker. That motherfucker, like I told people, man, he would be like Byron Houston, a tweener that wouldn't last long in the NBA because he didn't have a role. He's too small to guard players up front, and he'd be too slow to guard anybody on the perimeter. The Warriors created a role for this motherfucker, and he ain't thankful for that. This nigga delusional and think he's a superstar. He ain't shit. And the 96 Bulls would beat the shit out of that fucking Warriors team. The 92 Bulls, to be honest with you, would beat them even worse. Prime Jordan, prime Pippen, Horace Grant, that could score in the post. They had a better bench. 92 Bulls beat the shit out of that team. You keep talking about shooting. Shit, they had B.J. Armstrong. He could shoot from outside. Craig Hodges, John Paxson, Bobby Hansen. They had guys that could shoot threes too. And the three-point shot wasn't really shot like that back then. Jordan will blow past, man. Jordan will blow past Clay Thompson so much, man. Man, get out of here, man. Oh, clown ass nigga. You a clown. Put on a fucking clown outfit, you fucking circus reject.